I believe that I found some great news for the future of Zebec. We take a look at this right here. It says that according to crypto news, Solana-based Zebec Network introduces crypto debit card powered by MasterCard. Now, why could I think this could be great, even though nothing I say is financial advice? The reason being is because when we take a look at Zebec by nature, it's focused on the payments market, focused on global trade and finance. So it only makes sense that something like this does become a reality, even though it could be argued that, hey, many projects out there do kind of stuff like this. And also we see meme coins out there have their own card, basically, right? In a sense, we've seen some cases. Even despite that, I still do believe that, again, this is great because it just kind of sets the right tone. It sets the right mood, so to speak, for a project like this. It would only make sense, in my opinion. And even though this card probably won't have the best adoption of all time, again, I think it's a step in the right direction. And if, let's say, this happened not too long ago when the price of ZBCN was pumping, not like right now when we see the price having relatively quite a big pullback, even though we're seeing some altcoins have a decent recovery in a sense a little bit, even despite that, if this happened again, right, when ZBCN was pumping, it would be a lot more amplified, the news. It would be a lot more bullish. But as of right now, because things aren't doing the best, of course, stuff like this doesn't have the same impact as what it would have not too long ago. But for me, it has the same impact because the way to take a look at it is that when it comes to Zebec, it showcases that, first of all, not only are they still doing work when the crypto space overall isn't doing the best, but also on top of that, it showcases that the project is progressing. So I'm still very bullish on this nonetheless, even despite the price of ZBCN not doing the best. So when people like to say that, hey, good news is only good news when the price is pumping. Well, maybe to some people because they may think that, oh, it's only exciting when things are pumping. But for me, for the longevity of the project, for the sake of the positive vibes, and also for the community overall, I like it. I don't think it's only good when things are pumping. I do still love news like this, even despite the market not doing the best. And you got to think about how when it comes to the payments market, it's valued at over $2 trillion currently. The global trade and finance market predicted to reach up to $5 trillion in value by 2028, according to Mordor Intelligence. This is a very massive market right here. And when it comes to ZBCN, man, I believe that it could be one of these premier cryptocurrencies within this space because when you take a look at it, it's not really under that much competition. Because, of course, we take a look at Ripple, aka XRP, Stellar, aka XLM. ZBCN is never going to defeat those two. So that's not even a competition here. We take a look at, there's something like XCN and as well as XDC. They're pretty big projects, but that's not really the direct competitors of something like ZBCN. I would argue that its most direct competitor in terms of, I would say its most comparable one in terms of size is going to be something like XPR. So when you think about it, XPR really, that's kind of only one. ZBCN doesn't have that many competitors. If you think about it, it's only pretty much competing against something like XPR. Just think about this, right? Tier 1 is always going to be XRP and XLM. Tier 2 is going to be XDC and XCN. Tier 3, now ZBCN has the opportunity to be number 1 in that. And it only really has to defeat XPR. And I don't think it's even that difficult anyways, because if you take a look at it, again, ZBCN is a fast and growing community. It's very fantastic. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm bullish on XPR too, but this one seems very special to me. And if you take a look at where this board is heading, I do believe that once the market picks up again, and once Bitcoin goes to the price of $100,000 and maybe even a lot better and beyond, I do believe that now, because of the Ripple and SEC case, hopefully basically being no more and Ripple can finally move on with that, that's going to be very beneficial to the whole space overall in terms of these projects that are focused on payments, global trade and finance, which Zebec is. So, of course, I think that's going to be a major catalyst. And I do believe that ZBCN is going to be a big narrative because you got to think about just how similar something like this is to something like XRP. And of course, that's going to be very beneficial to it, I think, during a fully fledged bull run. Think about how Zebec is a decentralized infrastructure network for real world value flows. Now, it's focused on something called RWA payments. If we take a look at RWA, it stands for real world asset. And for instance, an RWA token, it could really be something special because these are digital representations of physical assets on the blockchain, which could be art, financial instruments like bonds and stocks. It could be real estate. There's a lot of possibilities. So of course, this is very amazing. And when I take this stuff into consideration, ZBCN at the price of 10 cents during this board, that's still my price target because we have to take a look at how Zebec actually has a lot of trust, if you think about it, at least in terms of its investors, because you take a look at its investors, allegedly they do include something like Solana Ventures, which we all know Solana. We take a look at something like Circle, which is the creator of USDC, the stablecoin. So really in that department, Zebec has it under control. And the fact that Zebec isn't this, massive project yet, and it has these type of investors, it really showcases just how amazing they are. It doesn't guarantee its success, but if anything, it showcases that, hey, at least these large entities do trust them enough to invest in it. At least that's the way you take a look at it. Now, furthermore, we take a look at how when it comes to Zebec, we have to also take a look at its partnerships, right? Its partners do allegedly include something like JP Morgan, Bank of America, Visa, MasterCard, and many others. So when I take a look at something like this, I think it's pretty much a complete project. It's focused on the right markets, and good news, like, for instance, the card, I do like that. Now, not to mention, sometimes people like to think that 10 cents is too crazy. Well, I don't think it's too crazy because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $7.5 billion. Now, people may be thinking, okay, around a $7.5 billion market cap doesn't seem too bad, which I do agree if someone does think that way. However, the part where sometimes people think this is a little bit outlandish is the fact that it's around a 100x from here. But to me, it doesn't seem so bad because if you think about it, ZBCN is actually that low to the point that 10 cents is now around a 100x from here. So again, the 100x part could seem a little bit crazy, but sometimes if people take a look at the market cap, it would have at that point, again, considering current circulating supply at the price of 10 cents, at least personally for me, it doesn't seem that ridiculous. Even though, again, some people may think 100x is kind of insane, but to me, again, it doesn't seem that crazy in this case, at least personally for me. Now, here's the thing. XRP, as of right now, already has a market cap that is well beyond $100 billion. So, I mean, just let that sink in. We're not even in a fully fledged bull run yet, and XRP is already doing that. That doesn't seem too crazy in my opinion. At least that's the way I view it. Now, if I take a look at this bull run, I think there's a lot of positive factors going on for it. There's over 600 million crypto owners currently, according to Crypto.com research, which is more than ever before in history. Not to mention, we take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. Really, everything is very positive. It's just the market is having a pullback. It is what it is, but I think better days are ahead because I do believe that the bull run is far from over, at least in theory, personally for me, because usually as a worst case scenario, historically speaking, altcoins, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And if we base this off April of last year, which the last Bitcoin halving event did happen at that time, 18 months from then would actually mean around October this year. So that's why I'm still staying patient. I'm still acquiring ZBCN. I'm still holding, and I'm not giving up because I believe that better days are ahead. Now, I can't tell the future. Only time will tell, but I'm still bullish and I'm waiting anyway. So I'm willing to take a chance on this, and 10 cents during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.